Hey, Craig from Bass Lessons Melbourne here. In this video I'm going to talk about the Rocco Prestia style groove that I wrote for my Funk Bassmasters groove mashup video, which is on my YouTube channel and also on basslessonsmelbourne.com. So if you haven't seen that video, I'd suggest checking that out before this. It'll make a whole lot more sense. And also you can download the PDF, which has standard notation and tab for this groove on basslessonsmelbourne.com. So Rocco Prestia, amazing bass player, plays for Tower of Power. If you haven't heard of Tower of Power, definitely check them out. One of the funkiest bands of the last 40-50 years maybe. Rocco and the drummer David Garibaldi really lock in well together. They've got a unique, really funky syncopated sound together. So a couple of things that make Rocco's playing style stand out differently from some other guys is, first of all, his use of left hand muting. So you might be familiar with muting in the right hand, but also what he does is he uses his left hand to mute the notes. So instead of getting a nice open sound like this, he also uses his three other fingers of his left hand just after the note that you're fretting to get this kind of sound. So he plays kind of 90% of his lines, or 80 to 90% of his bass lines, with his just one finger, and then the rest of his fingers muting the other notes behind it. So that's probably the biggest thing that stands out for the Rocco sound, is that left hand muting. The other is his right hand stamina. If you've ever heard the song What Is Hip, it's just like a constant stream of 16th notes, and it's all super accurate and even. So he has an incredible control over his right hand 16th note playing. And then the third one, which is kind of connected, is his use of syncopated 16ths. So syncopated 16ths being playing in between the strong beats in the bar. He uses that to great effect with the drummer. There's lots of offbeat grooves that they do. So what I'll do is I'll play through the groove that I've written at a slower tempo that's on the other video, so you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. And then I'll talk about a couple of ways, a couple of practice ideas that you can use to get better at playing in this style, and we'll discuss some of the parts of the groove in a bit more detail. So here we go. Okay, so that was the whole of the main groove, and also the fill at the end, the special fill that I wrote at the end. Ways to practice getting that sound is, obviously you got to get that left hand muting technique down, and it's just a trial and error. You know, everybody's bass is set up differently, everybody's hands are different sizes, so it's just a matter of getting it dead enough but not too dead and not too light that it doesn't work. So yeah, maybe just practice stuff you already know, bass lines you already know, or just sitting on one or two notes. And just see where's comfortable for you. And then also, knowing this groove really well will help, because we're going to do a lot of jumping around with the left hand. So the more well that you know it, if that's good English, the easier it'll be, obviously. Then the second part, just that right hand 16th that I was talking about before, we can apply that to stuff that we already know, like maybe scales or arpeggios or bass lines that you know. Instead of playing a scale, for example, we could do groupings of 4 or 2 on each note, like this. So that will help develop your right hand technique. And then the last aspect, the third aspect, is that 16th note syncopation. So again, stick on a drum loop or a metronome and practice playing just before and just after the beat. So for example, in that first bar, the opening phrase finishes on the last 16th of beat 1, and then on beat 2 there's a rest, and then another 16th note. So we get. So leaving space, just those short little spaces, add to the funk flavour of the groove, if you like. And also in that opening phrase, doing that root 5th octave pattern, so in F that's going to be F, C, F, is quite difficult to do, both right hand and left hand, because obviously we're doing it all with one finger. And then in the right hand, it's always tricky to do, skipping between different strings in the bass, especially at speed when you're doing 16ths. So one of the ways that I've been practicing it is doing it leading with my first finger and also leading with the second finger, because depending on what you're playing in the line before and after, you will have to play that root 5th octave pattern with your first finger and your second finger. So being comfortable interchanging between your first finger and second finger leading is key to being able to play this line fluidly and confidently. So what I would do is just stick on the drum groove again, and then I'll switch between first finger and second finger. First finger, second finger. And so then those are the kind of technical aspects, I guess, that you might want to look at for getting this groove down. And lastly, the fill, talk a little bit about that quickly. The fill is basically just coming down an F Dorian scale, so that would be F, E flat, D, C, B flat, A flat, G, and then I've put in a G flat just before the root in F. So this, the fill will sound like this. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you liked it, here and on the website. The mailing list on the website will keep you updated with any new videos that I'm putting out there. And yeah, have fun, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.